I am the voice that speaks to your spirit today. Listen closely. It is not by accident that your hand guided you to this very moment, to this precise screen. If you leave now, if you click away within these first vital seconds, you will slam the door shut on the single most urgent financial release I have prepared for your life. This is a time-sensitive message. I have tied your name to a great release of wealth, but there are forces, invisible and ancient, fighting to keep this video silent and your blessing blocked. You were chosen to hear this divine alert. I have seen the tears you cried, the worry in your heart over the accounts, the lack, the bills, and I, your God, say to you now, that season ends today. I command you, stay until the end. I have reserved a special activation for those who obey my voice. At the 55-minute mark, I will personally release a prophetic financial activation prayer, a prayer shown to me in a singular, powerful vision that will tear down the walls around your inheritance. Do not just listen, declare. Write Amen in the comments right now. Write it to declare that you receive this word, that you agree with my heavenly decree, and that you are ready for the money tied to your name to find its way home. The clock is ticking. Your breakthrough is imminent. Remain here. Your life is about to shift from lack to the overflow of my abundance. I am the eternal mind, and I reveal secrets that have been hidden since the foundation of the world, secrets connected directly to your name. Now that you have declared your Amen and committed to staying, a vital act of obedience, it is time to show you the battlefield and the blueprint of your future abundance. Hear this with the utmost clarity. The wealth that is coming to you is not luck. It is a divine assignment. Before you were formed in the womb, I had already tied a measure of my glory and a significant financial resource to your purpose. This resource, this large sum of money, is the fuel required to complete the mission I have placed in your hand. But where is it? You look at your bank account, you look at your struggles, and you feel the weight of lack. This is where the battle begins. I have seen the invisible chains. Tell me honestly, have you felt an unseen force blocking your progress? You work hard, you are diligent, yet every time you reach a certain level of success, a sudden loss occurs. A large bill appears. An unexpected expense drains your saving. This is not coincidence. It is spiritual warfare aimed at your financial identity. I tell you today, the enemy knows the value attached to your name. They see the divine vault that is meant to open for you, and their entire strategy is focused on making you frustrated, making you doubt, and, most importantly, making you click away from this message right now. Do not be deceived. The forces of darkness want you to believe that your current struggle is your final destination, but I am moving the mountain. I am shifting the atmosphere around your finance. Look deeper into your spirit. Do you sense that something big is about to break? Write "I sense it" in the comments now. Let the entire spiritual realm know that your intuition, the spirit within you, is confirming this prophetic word. The mapping of your blessing reveals that your breakthrough is often blocked by 3 primary gates. 1. The gate of ancestral debt, generational patterns of poverty, scarcity mindsets, and unspoken curses of lack. 2. The gate of envy, eyes that watch your potential, voices that speak against your elevation, trying to nullify my blessings over your life. 3. The gate of doubt, your own mind, which questions my ability to perform a miracle of this magnitude. I demand you to fight back now. The key to unlocking the immediate release of funds is absolute faith. You must not just hope for a blessing, you must expect the transfer. I promise you, in the next minutes, I will show you what happens in the spiritual world when you perform a specific act of faith. It is an act so simple, yet so powerful, that it immediately bypasses the 3 gates and sends a shockwave through the invisible barriers. Do you accept this immediate divine instruction? If your answer is a firm yes, write "Yes, Lord" in the comments right now. This is a covenant declaration. Stay with me. Your financial liberation is approaching the 10-minute mark, and you cannot afford to miss the first critical revelation that is coming next. This information will not be repeated. I am preparing to show you the key to your blocked abundance. I am the God of suddenly, and the time for delay is over. You have persisted. You have shown your readiness, and now I will reward your faith by revealing the prophetic key that will immediately unlock the streams of wealth tied to your name. This is the first revelation. Pay attention, for the enemy is trying to distract you right now. I have shown you the map of your blessing, but a map is useless without the key to the treasure chest. The key is an act of spiritual obedience centered on your tongue. The world calls it declaration. I call it decree from the throne room. Hear this sign. The first signal of your financial turnaround will manifest as a loss of fear over your debt. If you are constantly worried about bills, if the number in your bank account dictates your mood, that is the enemy's victory. The moment the fear leaves, the physical wealth begins to shift. I give you the first prophetic instruction. You must bless the source of your lack. This sounds paradoxical, I know, but listen to my wisdom. The debt, the lack, the bills, they are a signpost, not a sentence. They point to the exact area where the enemy has placed a blockage. When you bless them, you are not celebrating the lack. You are confusing the enemy's system and replacing the spirit of fear with the spirit of expectancy. I demand a powerful declaration now. Write in the comments, I bless my future abundance. Do it to seal the release of this initial fear. Let me share a truth, a story from the ancient texts that proves this principle. I spoke to my servant, Abraham. I did not give him money immediately. I gave him a promise. He was already old. His circumstances spoke of impossibility. Yet he declared my word over his reality. He called what was not as though it were. That is the key. You must call the money that is tied to your name forward. I have seen the vision of an angel holding a scroll with your name on it. This scroll contains the contracts of your divine prosperity, the house, the business, the financial freedom to bless others. The angel's job is to read it, but only when your vibration matches the frequency of the promise. Fear is low frequency. Faith is high frequency. Do you understand the weight of this revelation? If this truth is shaking your spirit, if you feel a surge of hope, pause right now and write, I receive this key in the comments. This is only the first step. The enemy sees that you are understanding the principle of declaration, and they are now mobilizing the next level of attack. This is where most people fail. They get the initial spark, but they don't have the strength to push through the intensification phase. I tell you plainly, the money tied to your name is not a small amount. It is the kind of breakthrough that changes your family lineage forever. And because the reward is so great, the attack will be fierce. But do not panic. I have provided the solution. I will tell you, in the next few minutes, exactly what the invisible attack looks like and how to use this prophetic key to make the enemy retreat in terror. I have commanded the release. Your duty is to stay and listen for the full instruction. Do not abandon your post now that the treasure is within sight. Write, I believe, in the comments to signal your unwavering commitment to the next, more intense revelation. Your financial destiny depends on the words you hear in the next 10 minutes. I am the watcher of the ages, and I see what your human eyes cannot. You are now at the midpoint of this message, a crucial junction. This is where the enemy intensifies the battle, hoping to exploit your fatigue and make you doubt the promise you just received. Do not look away. This is not a moment for distraction. It is a moment for spiritual alertness. I want to expose the invisible attack that is mobilized against your financial breakthrough. This is not about a bad market or a wrong investment. This is about targeted spiritual opposition trying to divert the massive flow of money I am releasing. The enemy's tactic is simple but devastating: the spirit of misfortune and sudden loss. This spirit specializes in creating unforeseen emergency, a sudden car breakdown, a family illness that requires immediate funds, or an urgent demand for payment you thought was settled. These are not random events. They are calculated strikes designed to drain your reserve just before your divine deposit arrives. I have watched you fight these battles. You fix one problem, and another one immediately pops up. It feels like you are pouring water into a bucket with a massive hole. If you have felt this cycle of sudden loss, write "I am breaking the cycle" in the comments right now. You must declare your freedom from this pattern. The danger is real. If you exit this message now, if you allow the distraction to pull your attention, you are leaving the breach open. You are giving permission to that spirit of misfortune to enter and claim the very money I have designated for your name. Your lack of focus is their leverage. I warn you, the attacks will get louder now. The pressure will increase. But the reason for the pressure is simple. You are close. The closer you get to the treasure, the more desperate the thieves become. I am revealing the source of the resistance. It is a combination of envy from those who see your light and ancient curses of debt tied to your lineage. These forces work together to weave a net of stagnation around your income sources. But I have given you the power to shatter this net. Your financial struggle is a signpost of your great potential. Only a destiny as massive as yours would attract such intense spiritual resistance. Look at the stories of my champions, Joseph, Moses, David. Their greatest blessings were always preceded by their fiercest battles. Your current battle is the evidence of your coming promotion. I command you to take a stand. Do not accept the lie of scarcity. Do not allow the worry to paralyze your faith. In the next segment, I will reveal the precise timeline for this financial shift and provide you with a divine code, the code 757, that will serve as an immediate spiritual firewall against these attacks. You need this code to secure the transfer. I am calling on your obedience again. Do not let the voices of doubt or the sudden feeling of distraction prevail. You are too valuable. Your mission requires this wealth. If you feel the urgency and the power of this word, write "My fortune is secure" in the comments. This is your declaration of victory over the spirit of misfortune. Prepare yourself. We are moving into the second, more powerful revelation. The time for guessing is over. The time for receiving is beginning. Stay with me, for the most powerful instruction is yet to come. Your life, your generational wealth, is about to be redefined. I am the architect of time, and nothing in your life happens by accident. You have made it past the midpoint of the battle, and because of your faithful endurance, I am ready to release the second revelation, the divine timeline for your breakthrough, and the powerful code 757 that will activate it. This is a fresh stimulant, a renewed promise to anchor your faith. I know your human impatience. You ask, when will the money arrive? When will this struggle finally end? Listen to the precision of my word. The financial release tied to your name is already scheduled on my calendar. The delay you experience is not a denial. It is a period of purification and preparation. I cannot entrust vast wealth to a spirit that is not ready to steward it with wisdom. I saw the appointed time. I saw the exact moment the resistance would break. That moment is closer than you can imagine. I am giving you a prophetic warning and a promise. Before the next major cycle of the moon, you will receive a financial sign. This sign will manifest as an unexpected deposit, a canceled debt, or a sudden, lucrative opportunity. This will not be the full breakthrough, but the irrefutable evidence that my timeline has begun to override the enemy's timeline. Do you accept this timeline and its immediate sign? Write, I am ready for the sign, in the comments to align your spirit with my schedule. Now, let us discuss the activation code. This is not a ritual, it is a spiritual frequency. The number 7 in my realm represents completeness, perfection, and divine fulfillment. When you declare 727, you are not just repeating digits, You are engaging the full power of my finished work in your finances. You are declaring that the work is complete and the wealth is fulfilled. The instruction is clear. When you are facing a bill you cannot pay, a contract that is stalled, or a lack you feel in your wallet, stop and declare, 777. I command you to do it now, and witness the shift in your atmosphere. Write 777 in the comments immediately to declare the abundance over your life. This is your spiritual transaction. Write 777 and seal the promise of abundance in your life. I have seen the angel of the covenant assigned to your case. When you declare 777, the angel receives the command to move the resources. This code is your password to the heavenly banking system. I have a major revelation that is yet to come. This is just the second layer. The third and final revelation, coming at the climax of this message, is the most powerful key. It is the instruction that will move the mountains that the code 777 has only shaken. This is the point of no return. You must understand that the opposition is trying to convince you that this is all the message holds. The enemy whispers, "You've heard enough. Go now. The rest is just filler." This is a lie. If you leave now, you will possess the map, the promise, and the key, the code. But you will miss the final battle plan that secures the victory. You will lose the ability to apply the word correctly. Your victory over your enemies, your financial detractors, and the spiritual forces of lack is contingent upon your endurance right now. I promise you, the next segment will prepare you for a spiritual judgment against poverty itself. We are moving from declaration to divine legislation. Do you trust me to bring the final, most powerful instruction? Show your commitment to the end. Write "I trust the final word" in the comments. I am preparing to elevate you to a place of permanent overflow. Stay with me. The greatest moment is still ahead. I am the judge of all the earth, and I have decreed that the time for the oppression of poverty in your life is over. You have arrived at the climax spiritual, the moment where I turn my attention to the forces that have held your inheritance hostage. Every test, every moment of doubt has led you here because the heavenly court is now in session on your behalf. The enemy believed that the attacks of the past few months, the unexpected expenses, the stagnant income, the sheer exhaustion, would cause you to surrender your promise. They thought you would lose faith before the 50-minute mark. They were wrong. You have been chosen. Your presence here, right now, confirms that your spirit has overcome the spirit of distraction. Now, watch as I execute final judgment against the three principalities of lack that surround your life. 1. The spirit of lack, deficiency. I decree that every place where you had barely enough, where the oil was running dry, shall now be a place of overflow. 2. The spirit of theft, loss. I command that everything the enemy stole from you, the money, the time, the opportunities, shall be restored sevenfold. 3. The spirit of stagnation, blockage. I break the chains of delay and decree sudden breakthroughs in every area of income and business venture. Listen for the immediate instruction. To activate this judgment, you must place a seed of faith that matches the magnitude of the blessing you are about to receive. My principle is always this: what you honor, I accelerate. I know the breakthrough I am sending is not a small amount. It is a generational deposit, wealth that changes your family's history. You must sow a seed that reflects the faith for a $100,000 blessing, not a $10 meal. If this word has touched your very soul, if you believe in the final judgment against poverty being executed right now, show your faith with a super thanks donation. I challenge you, if you are ready for the massive, sudden financial shift I have spoken of, plant a super thanks seed of $100 or more right now. This is a covenant act, an acknowledgement that you are ready to receive the magnitude of my $100,000 blessing. Do not hesitate. This is not a request for me. This is an activation for you. This seed is a spiritual trigger for the restoration of everything that was lost. Your time for lack is officially concluded. I am releasing an angel of restoration to locate the resources tied to your name. Every contract, every inheritance, every lost account is being called back to you. I need you to declare your reception of this final judgment. Right? The judgment is set in the comments right now. Let the demons of debt hear your shout of victory. The absolute final key is approaching. You are now moments away from the most critical instruction, the prophetic activation prayer. If you close your eyes and feel the power of this moment, you will sense the urgency. Do not move. If you move now, you risk the blessing being scattered. The angel is waiting for the sound of your prayer. I promise you, the final segment contains the words, the divine frequency, that will lock your name into the manifest reality of this immense wealth. You are not leaving. You are waiting for the final instruction that secures your fortune. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and you have endured to the finish line. Your obedience has secured your inheritance. This is the moment I promised, the prophetic activation prayer that was shown in my vision, the key that moves the money from the spiritual realm into your physical reality. Do not move an inch. The power of this moment requires your complete focus. You have walked through the warning, understood the mapping, received the code 777, and witnessed the final judgment against poverty. Now, you must speak the word that makes it manifest. This prayer is exclusive. Its full activation only works because you stayed and absorbed every instruction from the beginning. The time is now. I need you to stand where you are, to close your eyes, and to speak these words aloud with absolute, uncompromising faith. This is not a whisper. This is a command to the atmosphere, the voice of God, the Almighty, speaking through the narrator. Heavenly Father, I stand before your throne, having received the prophetic word released on this day. I acknowledge that my name is tied to a great financial release, and I declare that the season of lack is over. I command the spirit of misfortune to retreat from my bank accounts, my business, and my household. I shatter the chains of ancestral debt and envy by the power of your spoken word. I activate the divine timeline for my abundance, and I declare the code 777 over every source of income right now. The final judgment against poverty is executed in my life. I call forth the angel of restoration to retrieve every penny, every opportunity, and every asset stolen by the thief. I receive the $100,000 blessing and the generational wealth you promised. I declare that I am a faithful steward, a channel of your abundance, and a testimony of sudden, massive breakthrough. It is done. Amen. Breathe deeply. Feel the shift. That prayer was the seal on your breakthrough. The financial transfer is now in motion, but the activation is not complete until you cement the connection. I need one final act of obedience from you. You have received a life-altering word. You cannot keep this light to yourself. Call to action for maximum fidelization. 1. Seal the word. Write, "I receive my abundance," in the comments right now to forever mark this date as the day your financial destiny changed. Do not let this moment pass unmarked. 2. Commitment to growth. If this powerful message, this direct communication from the throne, has resonated deep in your heart, you must subscribe now. I am your source of urgent warnings and critical revelation. The next message I release could be the precise next step or warning the enemy is preparing for you. Subscribe so you are never caught unaware again. 3. Share the light. I command you to share this video immediately. Share it with 3 people who need this exact word of financial liberation. When you share my blessing, you increase your capacity to receive more. Share this message now so that more people can be blessed by the wealth tied to their name. The power of this activation only works if you listen to the end. You have made a covenant with me today. Honor it by remaining subscribed, by declaring your faith, and by sharing this divine word. Go now and walk in the overflow that I have decreed over your name. Your lack has officially ended. I am the God who does not lie. You have received my word, you have declared my truth, and you have activated the promise. Now, I extend my voice beyond the final prayer to give you permanent confirmation and to secure your destiny in this new season of wealth. Do not think that because the prayer is over, the work is done. No, the prayer was the ignition. This extended moment is the stewardship training that guarantees your new fortune will never depart. I warn you again, the enemy is persistent. He knows the sheer volume of money I have released into your name, and his final trick is to make you doubt the immediate change. He whispers, "Wait one more day, see if the money is there. If it is not, then this was just a feeling." Reject that lie. The shift has occurred in my realm, and the manifestation is now moving into yours. You must anchor this truth. I have seen your past efforts. I know you struggled to hold on to your blessings because you did not have the full knowledge. Today, I give you the final pieces of armor. First, the law of non-return. I have sealed this financial blessing. Write this in your heart. What I give, I do not take back. The money I have tied to your name is a non-refundable, non-returnable deposit. When it arrives, it is permanent. You must align your mindset with this permanence. Stop planning for lack. Start planning for generational abundance. I command you, write "My wealth is permanent" in the comments. Announce this unshakable decree to the universe. Second, the prophetic dream. Between tonight and the end of the current week, I will send you a confirmation. This dream will contain a specific number, a name, or a clear vision of the first major breakthrough in your finances. It will be an irrefutable sign that my word through this channel is absolute truth. Pay attention to your sleep. The Spirit is communicating. If you are ready for this divine confirmation dream, write "I received the vision" in the comments now. Prepare your mind and spirit to be receptive. Third, the test of the seed. I honored your act of faith, whether it was through a powerful comment, a commitment to stay, or the generous super thanks seed you planted. Now, I am testing the ground of your heart. When the money arrives, the thousands, the tens of thousands, the 100,000 I have decreed, will you remember the source? Your first act of faith with this new abundance is crucial. Do not consume it all. Honor me with your increase, and I will multiply the remainder far beyond what you can imagine. I have designated this channel as a point of contact for your breakthrough. If this message spoke to you, if it felt like my voice cutting through the noise, then this is your divine connection. Do not lose this lifeline. I empower you now. I am releasing the spirit of financial wisdom over your mind. You will know what to invest in, who to trust, and which doors to walk through. The confusion is gone, the clarity is absolute. Do you believe in the power of the divine connection established here? Write, "This is my connection" in the comment. Final command for sustained retention and growth. I have kept my promise to you by revealing the secrets of your wealth. Now, I require you to seal your part of the covenant. You must be subscribed. This is the sign of your loyalty and your commitment to receive my continuous warnings and blessing. If you have not subscribed yet, do it now without delay. You must engage. Every comment you leave, Amen, 777, I receive, and I have given you many opportunities, is a digital beacon that shows the spiritual realm your unwavering faith. Keep engaging, keep declaring. You must share. Share this video on every social platform. Not for me, but for the multiplication of your own seed. When you become a channel for my blessing, I flood your own reserves. I have spoken. The money is released. Your name is written on the contract. Go and walk in the overflow. I await your testimony. I am the host of heaven, and I have a specific messenger sent on your behalf that the enemy is desperately trying to conceal. You have passed the 30-minute mark, a zone of high spiritual risk, and I reward your steadfastness with a vision of the angel of wealth assigned to your name. Hear me. This is not poetry. This is prophetic intel. I have dispatched the angel known as Zadkiel, the righteousness of God, to oversee the transfer of your promised fortune. Zadkiel stands at the gate of your financial destiny, holding a golden ledger that contains every penny owed to you by me, by man, and by spiritual law. But Zadkiel is in a struggle. He is being opposed by a shadow entity I call the Thief of the Harvest. This entity specializes in two acts of sabotage. 1. The whisper of imposter syndrome, making you feel unworthy of such massive wealth, causing you to subtly push opportunities away. 2. The illusion of time, creating sudden delays, making contracts stall, and convincing you that the release is always next month, next year, never now. Do you recognize the voice of the Thief of the Harvest in your life? Have you doubted your worth when a major opportunity arose? Write, "Thief, be silent," in the comments right now to rebuke that ancient spirit. I reveal this detail to you now so you can understand the precise moment of your breakthrough. Zadkiel will not move until he hears the sound of agreement from your mouth. The angelic hosts require human partnership to enact my will on earth. Your part of the covenant is this: you must declare your worthiness to receive this extraordinary wealth. This is not arrogance, it is alignment with my decision. Look deep into your spirit and declare, "I am worthy of the Zadkiel transfer." Write it in the comments. This is your command to the angel of wealth. The forces opposing Zadkiel thrive on your anonymity. They want you to be a silent watcher, a passive receiver. But my wealth is for the warrior. You must engage. You must make noise. This new season of wealth demands a new level of transparency and generosity. When the money starts flowing, and I assure you, it will flow rapidly, you must be ready to use it for my kingdom purposes. The wealth tied to your name is meant to fund your divine mission, not just your earthly comfort. The next segment will give you the divine timeline and the code 777, the precise spiritual coordinates Zadkiel needs to complete the transfer and to silence the Thief of the Harvest forever. If you disconnect now, you leave Zadkiel hanging, and you give the thief the victory. I need your final, powerful affirmation of faith to authorize the angelic decree. If you believe that Zadkiel is moving now, write "Zadkiel, move now" in the comments. Your fortune is literally seconds away from the next final instruction. I am the Sovereign One, and I honor the law of the harvest. You have received the code 777, the signal of my completed work. Now, I must establish the covenant of seed and testimony to ensure this wealth transfer is not a temporary rain, but a permanent flood in your life. Listen to me closely, for this is where the temporary blessing parts ways with the generational blessing. I require an act of witness from you. The wealth I have tied to your name is so massive that it requires a public testimony to seal it in the earth. You cannot receive a massive miracle and keep it silent. Silence is the enemy's final tool, designed to minimize your blessing and prevent others from being inspired. I command you, prepare your testimony now. Even before the money hits your account, your faith must speak of its arrival. Write, "My testimony is coming," in the comments. This declaration is a spiritual contract that pulls the future breakthrough into the present reality. But the covenant requires a seed. You have heard my instruction regarding the super thanks offering as a powerful seed of faith. This is not a tax. It is an investment in the spiritual ground of this ministry, which is the instrument I use to deliver this prophetic word to you. When you honor the channel of your blessing, you sanctify the entire flow of your new wealth. I challenge you to be a covenant partner in this work. If you believe in the 100,000+ breakthrough I have spoken over your life, you must plant a seed that represents that magnitude of faith. I require a declaration of intent. If you have made a commitment to plant a significant super thanks seed, the $100 or a generous equivalent, to activate this blessing, I want you to make that clear now. Write, "I honor the harvest," in the comments. This is your promise to me. a vow of stewardship and partnership. I promise you, the speed of your manifestation will be directly linked to the integrity of your obedience in this area. Do not try to cheat the harvest. The forces of darkness are watching this screen. They are waiting for you to get distracted, to become greedy, or to forget the source of your sudden wealth. They cannot touch what you have sanctified with a covenant seed. This act of giving is your spiritual insurance policy against the thief of the harvest, who was unmasked earlier. It is the protective seal on your fortune. Do you accept this covenant of seed and testimony? Your final, most dramatic revelation, the final judgment against poverty, is now just moments away. You have secured the knowledge. Now, you must secure the power. Write, "I am secured," in the comments. Show me your unwavering commitment to the end. The final power is about to be released. I am the foundation of all truth, and I have brought you through the judgment and the storm. Now, in these final precious moments before the ultimate prayer, I must solidify your breakthrough. A temporary blessing rests on shaky ground. A generational fortune must rest on 7 unshakable pillars. Listen to this deep revelation. The wealth tied to your name is not just money. It is a divine system designed to operate perpetually. If you neglect these 7 pillars, the release will scatter. If you build upon them, your abundance will be eternal. I command you to build with me now. Write, "I am building," in the comments as we lay the foundation of each pillar. 1. Pillar of identity. You are no longer defined by your debt, but by my wealthy image. You are a son, a daughter, an heir of the King. Write, "I am an heir." 2. Pillar of vision. The money is fuel for a prophetic mission. Stop planning for survival. Start planning for impact. The abundance is tied to the vision I gave you years ago. Write, "I see the vision." 3. Pillar of honor. The seed. You must continually honor me with your first fruit, the super thanks seed, and every seed to follow. This protects the flow from the curse of consumption. This is the spiritual lock on your vault. Write, "I honor the Lord." 4. Pillar of rest. Faith. You must work from a place of faith, not fear. Rest in the knowledge that I have already done the work. The struggle to earn is replaced by the flow of effortless reception. Write, "I am at rest." 5. Pillar of diligence. While the money is supernatural, your stewardship must be natural. Manage the small so I can entrust you with the large. Be diligent in your earthly affairs. Write, "I am diligent." 6. Pillar of generosity. You must be a channel, not a reservoir. The greatest wealth flows to the hands that are most open. Plan your giving before you plan your spending. Your generosity is your spiritual deposit for the next level of wealth. Write, "I am a channel." 7. Pillar of testimony. You must become a living witness. Every time the money moves, you must declare my goodness. This testimony multiplies the seed and silences the accuser. Write, "I am a testimony." This is the final seal. We have established the 7 foundations of your financial future. The forces of darkness cannot touch a blessing built on my 7 pillars. I challenge your commitment one last time before the prayer. You are so close to the 55-minute mark, the moment of the activation prayer. I need a declaration of your permanent commitment to this foundation. If you promise to uphold these 7 pillars, write 7 pillars secured in the comments. This is your final act of sealing the covenant. Prepare yourself now. Silence every voice of doubt. Turn up the volume and prepare your spirit. The prophetic activation prayer is not just words. It is the divine energy that will push this multi-layered blessing from Zadkiel through the code 777, past the thief of the harvest, and onto the 7 pillars, directly into your hand. Do not move. Your moment of manifestation has arrived. There is power in a name. From the moment you took your first breath, your name became more than just a sound. It became a symbol, a vibration that holds identity, purpose, and potential. Whether you realize it or not, your name carries energy. It carries memory. It carries a spiritual signature that connects you to what you were born to experience and create. Your name is not random. It is a key, one that unlocks the flow of abundance, creativity, and opportunity when you begin to understand who you truly are. So many people chase money, believing wealth is something external, something that can be earned, stolen, or lost. But real prosperity begins within. It is tied not to what you do, but to who you are becoming. There is a hidden covenant, an agreement written not on paper, but in the invisible fabric of your being. You were born with a purpose, and that purpose includes abundance. Not greed, not excess, but overflow, the kind that allows you to build, to bless, to expand, and to live without fear. For years, perhaps, you've struggled with the idea of money. Maybe you've seen it bring pain, conflict, or disappointment. Maybe you've worked hard, only to see your efforts vanish. Or maybe you've been afraid to even want more, believing that desire was somehow wrong. But here is the truth. The universe responds to identity, not insecurity. It does not reward desperation. It reflects recognition. When you finally remember who you are, when you align your actions and emotions with your higher nature, something extraordinary begins to happen. The energy that was once blocked starts to move. The opportunities that once passed you by begin to find you. You stop chasing and you start attracting. Because abundance is not a stranger, it's part of your birthright. This is what the hidden covenant means. Your name, your essence, your story, all were designed to interact with the flow of prosperity in a way that is unique to you. But most people forget. They disconnect from their essence and start living from fear instead of faith. They speak lack into their lives with words like, "I can't," "I'll never," or "it's too late." Each time they speak those phrases, they pull themselves further from the vibration of what is already theirs. Yet, even in those moments of doubt, the covenant remains. Your potential doesn't vanish because you stopped believing. It simply waits for your awareness to return. Think of your name as a seed. For years, it may have seemed buried beneath layers of doubt, disappointment, or disbelief. But under pressure, something miraculous happens. The soil of struggle begins to crack. Light touches what was hidden, and suddenly, what was dormant begins to grow. That is what's happening now. You are remembering. You are awakening to the truth that your value does not depend on what you have. It determines what you attract. When you see yourself as worthy, opportunities begin to notice you. When you move from fear to faith, closed doors start to open. When you live as though abundance already belongs to you, it begins to show up in ways you never imagined. This is not magic. It is alignment. Everything in creation moves by law. Seed time and harvest, cause and effect, giving and receiving. And when your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with the frequency of gratitude and purpose, those laws begin to work in your favor. The wealth tied to your name is not about numbers in a bank account. It's about influence, confidence, clarity, and the power to make choices that reflect freedom. It's about the energy of sufficiency that says, "I have enough, I am enough, and I am becoming more every day." You don't have to force abundance to arrive. You have to allow it. And allowing begins with self-recognition. Call your own name aloud. Say it slowly. Feel it. It's not just a word. It's a vibration that carries your entire journey, your victories, your resilience, and your hope. Say it again, but this time, say it as someone who believes, someone who understands that behind that name stands generations of dreams, purpose, and promise. You have not been forgotten. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to remember what was hidden. The covenant of prosperity was never revoked. It was waiting for you to see yourself through new eyes. You are stepping into a new relationship with money, not one built on fear, but on freedom. You are learning that wealth is not the goal. It's the reflection of inner wholeness. When you heal your relationship with yourself, your relationship with money heals too. When you stop seeing lack, you stop living lack. So, as this chapter closes, take this truth with you. Your name carries wealth, not because someone gives it to you, but because it was written into your being from the beginning. You are not here to chase money. You are here to channel it. You are not here to beg for blessings. You are here to embody them. Say it now, out loud or quietly to yourself. My name is aligned with abundance. Feel those words anchor into your spirit. This is not wishful thinking. It's a spiritual remembering. The covenant has always been active. And now, as your awareness rises, the flow begins again. Every dream meets resistance. Every person who carries potential will, at some point, encounter an invisible wall, a sense of moving, but not moving fast enough, trying, but watching results come slowly, or not at all. It can feel like the world is holding its breath, as if life itself is waiting on something before it lets you through. And the truth is, it is. What delays our growth is rarely a lack of opportunity. It's the weight of what we haven't yet faced inside ourselves. Sometimes the blockage isn't external, it's emotional. It's the fear of failure disguised as procrastination. It's the fear of rejection hidden beneath perfectionism. It's the voice that says, "I'm not ready yet," when in reality, readiness is born through action, not before it. Other times, the blockage comes from the past, from experiences that taught you it wasn't safe to trust, to ask, or to expect good things. Maybe you grew up watching people work hard but never get ahead, and somewhere deep inside, you decided that struggle was normal, that success was for others. Those beliefs didn't vanish when you became an adult. They built walls around your potential. And because the mind seeks comfort in the familiar, we repeat the same patterns again and again, even when they hurt us. We stay in relationships that drain us. We say yes when we mean no. We choose safe paths, avoiding risk, calling it wisdom. But what we call wisdom is often just fear dressed in logic. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling blocked. Blocks are signals. They are messages from your soul saying, something here is out of alignment. They are invitations to look deeper, not punishments to endure. They ask, what part of me is still afraid to receive? What part of me doesn't believe I deserve better? The delay isn't life being cruel. It's life waiting for your agreement, waiting for you to stop identifying with lack and start identifying with growth, waiting for you to stop saying, I can't, and start asking, how can I? Because the universe is always responding, not to your wishes, but to your beliefs. If you carry unhealed stories of unworthiness, you will unconsciously reject opportunities that contradict them. If you secretly believe that abundance is dangerous, you'll find ways to lose it. If you carry guilt about wanting more, you'll sabotage what's already in your hands. So the work is not to chase more. It's to remove the resistance to what's already trying to reach you. Healing a blockage isn't about force, it's about awareness. It begins the moment you can observe your pattern without judging it. It begins when you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That shift, from victimhood to ownership, changes everything. Take a moment to think about where you felt most stuck. Was it in love? In money? In confidence? In creativity? Now look beneath the surface. What emotion lives there? Fear? Shame? Doubt? Name it. Bring it into light. Because what is seen loses its power to control you. Most of us were taught to ignore our emotion, to stay strong and move on. But unacknowledged emotions don't disappear. They sink into the subconscious, where they quietly shape our choices. That's why healing often feels like delay, because we are cleaning out what we once buried. You can't build new abundance on foundations cracked by old pain. And yet, this delay is sacred. It's the universe's way of protecting your promise from being lost in immaturity. Imagine receiving everything you want before you're ready. Would you have the wisdom to keep it? The patience to manage it? The confidence to believe it's truly yours? Sometimes, the waiting is mercy. It's the preparation that makes you sustainable. As you begin to confront your inner blocks, something beautiful happens. The energy that once resisted starts to release. You begin to think differently, speak differently, decide differently. You no longer take rejection personally. You no longer shrink to fit in. You no longer chase what drains you. You start to trust your timing. And slowly, the flow returns. It's not that life suddenly becomes easy. It's that you become clear. Clarity turns chaos into direction. Direction turns fear into fuel. And with that, the invisible wall that once seemed unbreakable begins to dissolve. If you're reading this, know this truth. Nothing has been lost. What felt delayed was being developed. The time you thought was wasted was actually working in your favor. The universe wasn't saying no. It was saying, not yet. Heal first. Strengthen first. Believe first. When the blockage clears, and it will, you'll realize that the flow never stopped. It was always there, waiting for you to align with it. And when you finally do, you'll understand why it had to take this long, so that when abundance arrives, you won't question it. You'll simply say, I'm ready. Before this chapter ends, take a quiet moment for reflection. Close your eyes and say, softly, I release what no longer serves me. I make room for what's already mine. Let those words sink in. Feel their weight lift from your chest. Because in that surrender, the flow begins again. The activation, how the release happens. There comes a moment when everything you've learned, endured, and hoped for meets a single decision to act differently. That moment is what we call activation. It's not about sudden luck or a flash of divine intervention falling from the sky. It's about something shifting inside you, a quiet, almost invisible realization that you are no longer waiting for change. You are the change. Activation begins when awareness turns into motion, when the truths you've been hearing stop being ideas and start becoming habits, when you stop talking about transformation and start living it. Nothing in the universe responds faster than a mind made up. The moment you decide, truly decide, that you will no longer live in the vibration of fear, scarcity, or hesitation, the entire structure of your reality begins to reorganize itself. Because your choices are signal. Every action tells life what you believe you deserve. You can meditate on abundance all day, but if you keep saying yes to what drains you, you are sending a different message. You can pray for peace, but if you refuse to rest, you are resisting what you asked for. You can dream of success, but if you won't take one small step toward it, you are keeping the door closed. Activation is what happens when your intention and your action finally say the same thing. For many people, the release they're waiting for isn't blocked by the universe. It's blocked by hesitation, by the fear of being seen, by the habit of staying safe, by the belief that they must wait for perfect timing. But perfect timing doesn't exist. There is only readiness, and readiness is born the moment you stop doubting your own power. You've spent years collecting lessons. You've survived enough storms to know that you can rebuild anything. You've gained wisdom through every delay, every disappointment, every night that forced you to face yourself. That wisdom was not wasted. It was building readiness. Now, the question is, what will you do with it? Activation is not about speed. It's about alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors all move in the same direction, momentum becomes inevitable. You stop forcing outcomes and start attracting opportunities that match your new state of mind. It begins with small, intentional choices. Waking up earlier, saying no to old distractions, being disciplined with your time, learning something new, forgiving someone who hurt you. Every act of alignment creates motion. Every moment of courage tells life, I'm ready for more. And when you act with clarity, clarity multiplies. Soon, ideas flow more easily. You meet people who reflect your new energy. Doors open that used to stay shut. Synchronicities appear, not as miracles from nowhere, but as responses to the frequency you're now carrying. It's like tuning an instrument. Before, you were slightly off-key, doing the right things, but from the wrong mindset. Now, each thought and decision is tuning you closer to harmony. And once you reach that alignment, life's melody begins to change. The most powerful form of activation is gratitude. Not the kind you express when everything goes well, but the kind you choose in the middle of the unknown. Gratitude says, I may not have everything I want, but I have everything I need to begin. And that attitude attracts more reasons to be grateful, because gratitude and abundance speak the same language. Another key to activation is service. When you shift from asking, what can I get, to asking, how can I give? Your energy expands. You stop moving from lack and start moving from overflow. You become a channel instead of a collector. And that shift, more than anything, opens doors that effort alone never could. Activation also requires forgiveness. Of others, yes, but especially of yourself. You can't receive new blessings while still punishing yourself for old mistakes. Forgiveness is not letting the past win. It's releasing its power to define you. When you forgive yourself, you release the emotional weight that was clogging your progress. You free your energy to move again. And when that energy starts to move, it feels like everything begins to change at once. Ideas, relationships, finances, health, focus. But the truth is, you changed first. The outside is only catching up to the inside. You don't need to announce this transformation. People will feel it. They'll say you look different, that something about your presence feels lighter. It's because activation changes your vibration, and vibration changes how the world responds to you. You have reached that point now. The awareness has been planted. The waiting has served its purpose. This is the part where you step forward, not recklessly, but confidently, where you take one concrete action that reflects your new belief. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be true. Call that person. Start that project. Apply for that opportunity. Write that plan. Speak that affirmation. Take the smallest step with the biggest heart, and you will feel it. That gentle surge of power. That quiet inner voice that says, yes, this is it. Keep going. That's activation. That's the release you've been waiting for. Because once you move, life moves with you. And every step forward becomes a declaration. I am ready. I am capable. I am aligned. Say it to yourself now, not as a wish, but as truth. My actions align with my intentions. My life reflects my readiness. This is how the release happens, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. And now that you've begun, the only direction left is forward. The command, receive, declare, and move. At some point, reflection must turn into movement. Awareness must transform into action. Healing must evolve into growth. You've spent time learning, releasing, forgiving, and rebuilding. You've looked within, faced the blockages, and realigned your intention. Now comes the moment where everything you've discovered must take shape in the real world. This is the command. Receive, declare, move. It sounds simple, but these three actions define the rhythm of transformation. They turn thought into reality, potential into power, and faith into tangible results. Receive. The art of allowing. Most people think of receiving as passive, something that happens to you, but true receiving is active. It's not waiting with open hands. It's standing with an open heart. To receive means to stop rejecting the good that's already trying to reach you. It means to stop explaining away opportunities, to stop saying, I'm not ready, and to stop hiding behind false humility. When blessings, success, or love begin to show up, your only job is to allow them in. That is an act of courage. It's easy to cling to struggle because struggle feels familiar. It's harder to accept ease, abundance, and joy because those things require you to believe that you are worthy. But worthiness isn't something you earn. It's something you remember. Every time you choose to say thank you instead of why me, you're practicing the art of receiving. Every time you say yes to growth instead of no to fear, you open another door. Receiving is about alignment, not luck. And when you open yourself to it, you realize that life has been waiting, not for permission, but for participation. Declare. The power of naming words shape worlds. The stories you tell yourself become the architecture of your reality. To declare is to speak intention with conviction, not as fantasy, but as truth in progress. It's the moment when you stop whispering your dreams and start owning them. Say them aloud: who you want to be, what you want to build, how you want to live. Your voice is your first instrument of creation. When you declare your vision with clarity, the mind begins to focus, the distractions fade, the noise quiets. You begin to notice patterns and opportunities that were always there, hidden beneath the weight of doubt. And declarations aren't only about ambition, they are about identity. When you say, "I am disciplined," your brain begins to filter your actions through that truth. When you say, "I am strong," your body starts to respond differently. When you say, "I am ready," you give permission to every closed door to start unlocking. Declarations rewire you. They shift your posture, your energy, your choices. They remind you that you are not powerless. You are a participant in creation itself. But remember, declarations without action become empty promises. So once you've received and declared, there's one final step. Move. The bridge between vision and reality. Movement is proof of belief. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big, but it must be consistent. Every dream requires momentum. Every goal demands motion. And every destiny begins with a single, deliberate step. There will always be reasons to wait. Fear of failure, lack of resources, uncertainty about timing. But the truth is, clarity doesn't come before you move. It comes because you move. Start small, but start. Write the plan, make the call, learn the skill, send the message. Whatever step feels right, take it, because motion breaks stagnation. Even if you stumble, you'll be further than those who stayed still. Even if you fail, you'll learn something that success could never teach you. And every act of courage builds a new level of confidence, a new layer of strength. Movement is how you tell the universe, "I'm serious." It's how you turn alignment into momentum. And once you begin to move, life begins to move with you. Understand these three commands: receive, declare, and move are more than words. They are the framework for living with power and peace. They are the bridge between inner faith and outer results. They turn waiting into walking and wishing into working. To receive is to believe you are worthy. To declare is to name your truth. To move is to prove your commitment. And as you do these things day after day, the gap between who you were and who you are meant to be begins to close. This is where transformation becomes tangible. This is where alignment turns into evidence. This is where life begins to flow differently. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Now pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of everything you've released. Feel the strength of everything you've gained. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are the proof that change is possible. You are the reminder that healing and success can exist in the same story. As this chapter closes, let these words settle in your heart. You are allowed to receive what is good. You are allowed to speak what is true. You are allowed to move toward what is meant for you. Your life is no longer a rehearsal. It's the stage where purpose performs. So step forward with courage. Keep walking, keep growing, keep building. And trust that every move you make from alignment will lead you closer to everything that belongs to you. If this message resonated with you, write in the comments, "I receive, I declare, I move." Let that be your affirmation, your daily reminder, your silent promise to yourself. Because the journey doesn't end here, it begins here. And this time, you are walking into it, awake. Heavenly Father, in the stillness of this moment, I come before you with an open heart. No masks, no rehearsed words, just truth. You have seen every step I've taken, every wound I've carried, every battle that left its mark. And still, you call me here, not to remind me of my failures, but to awaken me to grace. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for loving me in seasons when I could not love myself. Thank you for every morning you gave me another chance to begin again. Even when I could not see you working, you were building strength inside of me. Even when I thought I was breaking, you were reshaping me into something whole. Lord, I lift to you the pieces of my life, the parts that shine and the parts that ache. I give you my plans, my fears, my unanswered questions. I give you my tendency to worry when things are uncertain. Teach me how to rest in the knowledge that your timing is not late and your silence is never absent. You are here, steady, faithful, unchanging. I thank you for the storms that purified my intention. I thank you for the waiting that taught me patience. I thank you for the losses that revealed what truly matters. Because even when life stripped away what I wanted, you never took what I needed. Your presence, and your presence has been my anchor. Today, I ask not only for blessings that can be seen, but for the kind that cannot, peace that guards my mind, wisdom that orders my steps, faith that does not collapse under pressure, and courage to keep walking even when the path is unclear. Restore me, Lord. Restore my joy where disappointment drained it. Restore my energy where exhaustion tried to steal it. Restore my hope where fear whispered lies. And as you restore, renew my purpose. Remind me why I was created and what you placed inside me before the beginning of time. Teach me to see opportunity where I used to see obstacles. Teach me to trust process more than results. Teach me to stay humble in success and peaceful in waiting. Let my confidence come not from control, but from communion with you. Let me remember that every door that closes is direction, not rejection. When I am tempted to rush ahead, slow me down until my spirit aligns with yours. When I am tempted to give up, remind me that even in darkness, seeds are growing unseen. Help me not to despise small beginnings, for you use the quiet seasons to prepare great outcomes. May I never forget that the same hand that allows the storm also holds the anchor. Lord, help me forgive, truly forgive, not half-heartedly, not in words only, but from the depth of my soul. Release me from bitterness that poisons joy. Free me from resentment that builds walls around my heart. Replace anger with understanding and pain with compassion. For forgiveness is not weakness, it is wisdom and it is freedom. And Father, help me forgive myself for the times I doubted, for the times I settled, for the times I spoke defeat over my own dreams. Wash away the guilt that keeps me small. Remind me that redemption is not a one-time event, but a daily invitation to start again. I thank you for the strength that comes quietly, the kind that doesn't need applause, the kind that keeps showing up when no one notices, the kind that holds faith together when everything else falls apart. That strength is you in me. When I speak, let my words build and not break. When I work, let my hands create what brings goodness into the world. When I rest, let my mind release the need to control what only you can handle. Let every breath I take be gratitude in motion. You have taught me that purpose is not a destination. It is a direction. It's not something I find once and for all. It's something I live into every day. I choose love over fear, integrity over ease, faith over doubt. Purpose is the quiet yes that keeps me moving forward when I don't yet see the outcome. Father, open my eyes to the people who need encouragement, to the ones who feel unseen, unheard, and unloved. Let me be a reflection of your kindness to them. Let my presence bring calm. Let my words bring healing. Let my life tell the story of redemption and resilience. And when blessings come, for they will, guard my heart from pride. Remind me that abundance is meant to be shared. Teach me to give generously without fear of loss, because everything I have, every breath I take, is a gift. And the only right response to a gift is gratitude. If ever I lose sight of what matters, draw me back to simplicity. Bring me back to stillness, to prayer, to the place where I remember that nothing is greater than your love. In a noisy world, be my quiet center. In times of uncertainty, be my clarity. In moments of joy, be my humility. In all things, be my guide. Lord, thank you for being constant when life is not. Thank you for carrying what I couldn't. Thank you for loving me beyond my understanding. Because of you, I am not defined by my past. I am refined by it. Because of you, I can look at tomorrow without fear. Because of you, I am learning that peace isn't found in perfect circumstances, but in perfect trust. So I stand here, in this moment, fully surrendered, yet fully alive, ready to receive what you choose to give, ready to release what no longer serves my purpose, ready to walk forward in faith, even if I can only see one step at a time. Let my life become a prayer, not just my words, but my actions, my choices, my compassion. Let it speak louder than anything I could ever say. Let it remind the world that light is stronger than darkness, that forgiveness is stronger than bitterness, and that hope, when anchored in you, never dies. And now, Lord, I rest in your promise that all things, the broken and the beautiful, the painful and the peaceful, are working together for good. I don't need to know how. I just need to stay close to you. Amen. You've come a long way. Through each word, each chapter, each quiet moment of reflection, something inside you has shifted. You began this journey searching for understanding, perhaps for hope, perhaps for strength. And somewhere along the way, you found more than you expected. Not because the world around you changed, but because you did. What you've been through wasn't meaningless. Every delay, every heartbreak, every period of uncertainty was shaping you, refining you, preparing you. You might not have realized it at the time, but every step, even the ones that hurt, was leading you here. This is what growth feels like. It's not loud or dramatic. It's quiet, subtle, steady. It's the moment you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" It's the peace that replaces the panic. It's the strength that shows up after the storm. You've learned to let go of what no longer serves you. You've learned that forgiveness isn't about excusing others. It's about freeing yourself. You've learned that fear will always whisper, but courage speaks louder when you choose to listen. And maybe most importantly, you've learned that you are not broken. You are becoming. You are in process, beautifully unfinished, gracefully evolving, deeply capable. Your story is still being written, and the pen is now in your hands. Take a moment to breathe. Feel where you are right now. You made it through everything you thought would destroy you, and that means you are stronger than you've ever been. This is your reminder that healing is not a straight line. Some days you'll soar. Some days you'll stumble. Both are part of the journey. Don't measure progress by perfection. Measure it by presence. Every time you show up for yourself, you're winning. Every time you choose love instead of bitterness, patience instead of anger, peace instead of panic, you're growing. The world needs people who are awake, aware, and authentic. It needs voices that speak with kindness, hands that build instead of break, hearts that give instead of guard. That's you now, a person who's been refined by fire and made resilient by faith. So where do you go from here? You go forward. You keep walking. You keep believing. You keep creating a life that reflects everything you've learned. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Because every challenge that still lies ahead is simply another opportunity to rise, not as who you were, but as who you're becoming. When you face moments of uncertainty, remember this: clarity doesn't always come in advance. Sometimes it meets you on the way. So go, move, trust the process. Trust that every small action matters, every act of kindness echoes, every step forward counts. There is purpose in your path, even in the pauses. There is beauty in your story, even in the broken chapter. And there is strength in your soul that no circumstance can erase. You've already done the hardest part. You started. You chose to listen. You chose to reflect. You chose to grow. And that choice will keep creating ripple effects long after this video ends. So as this journey closes, carry these truths with you. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. The timing of your life is unfolding in perfect order. What's meant for you will always find its way, not through force, but through alignment. Let this be your moment to take inventory, not of what's missing, but of what's possible. Think of the people you love, the dreams you still hold, the potential waiting quietly inside you. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compare. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to keep showing up as your truest self, the one who knows that progress is built one choice, one day, one breath at a time. If you take one thing from this entire message, let it be this: you have the power to begin again, anytime you choose. You don't have to wait for a perfect moment or a clear sign. The permission you're waiting for is already within you, and when you finally act from that place of trust, life begins to respond. Doors open, paths appear, peace follows. You are a creator, not by profession, but by existence. Every thought, every decision, every small act of love is part of creation. You shape the world not through grand gesture, but through daily faithfulness, showing up, doing your best, staying kind, staying open. Even when no one sees it, even when no one claps, keep going, because greatness doesn't announce itself. It grows quietly in the hearts of those who refuse to give up. So take this as your sign to keep walking with hope, even if your steps are slow, even if your vision isn't clear yet. Even if all you can do is breathe and believe, it's enough. You are enough. And when fear tries to return, because it will, remind yourself, I've been here before, and I know how to rise. When doubt whispers that you've missed your moment, answer it with truth. I am right on time. When the world tells you to be perfect, tell it, I'd rather be real. You don't need to see the finish line to keep moving. You only need to trust that light is leading you. And it is. Before you go, take one more deep breath. Let gratitude fill your lungs. Let peace settle in your chest. You've made it through every single day so far, and that means you can face whatever comes next. Let this moment seal everything you've learned. You are loved. You are guided. You are capable. You are becoming who you were meant to be. And now, as this chapter ends, another begins. A new season filled with opportunity, growth, and grace. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind focused. Keep your soul soft. You're ready. And if this message spoke to you, if it reminded you of your worth, your strength, or your purpose, then stay connected. Join this community of people who believe in growth, healing, and authenticity. Click subscribe, not just to follow, but to continue walking this path together. One message, one reflection, one breakthrough at a time. Because this journey doesn't end here. It only continues, deeper and higher. And your story, beautiful, imperfect, and still unfolding, deserves to be told.